Hello my friends, today I'm going to talk about cheat days, and with the holidays coming up I thought that this would be a good time to address a common question that I get, which is, do you ever have cheat days on your diet? And the short answer to this question is no, but to provide a little bit of background for those of you that are new here, for the last 3+ years I've been doing a carnivore and now more animal-based Weston A. Price style diet to help my body to heal from years of very severe chronic illness, and it has completely changed my life and brought me so much healing. And I went from essentially bedbound to now living a normal, active and healthy life. And the first about year and a half that I started this way of eating, I was a very strict carnivore, meaning I only ate meat, literally nothing else, meat and salt, no seasonings, no fruit, no other whole foods, just meat. And at some points during that time, some dairy as well. So after that year and a half or so, I started to add in some fruits and did really well with that. And now I've come to a point where I really don't like using diet labels because it feels limiting. And so I feel the best eating mostly meats, but I also feel just fine having a steak and making some roasted potatoes with tallow. And I do that sometimes. I am very open to trying whole foods from a good source that are prepared well, because I do think that those have a place for a lot of people, and we're all at different points in our health journeys. But for me, I have continued to see a lot of healing as I've added in some other things. But to get back to, do I ever have cheat days? The answer is no, but sometimes I do occasionally have a bite of something that isn't in my typical diet. So for example, we went to Italy this summer and I did have some gelato. I was in Italy and I was like, I'm gonna have some gelato and I'm gonna enjoy it. And the weird thing about it is I got a very small gelato and I couldn't finish it, and it just didn't taste that great to me. That in a way is really cool to see, because my body is healed enough to where I can handle that just fine now, but also my palate has changed and I don't feel like I crave those types of foods anymore. I can say, for example, have one bite of something that has a little bit of sugar in it and I'm okay, and I don't feel the need to keep going and keep having more. And to me, that has felt really empowering to be free of food addiction. The reason that I don't call this cheating is because I think that the way that we talk to ourselves matter. And with the word cheat, there's this negative connotation to it where we feel shame and we feel guilty and we feel like we've done something wrong. And I don't like that concept, because our bodies listen to our thought patterns, and if we're feeling guilty about something that we ate that may not be in our normal day-to-day eating pattern, I think that can be kind of a negative thing for both mental and physical health. And so that's why I don't call it a cheat day, and also why I don't like diet labels very much, because my day-to-day is I mostly eat meat. But if I am out and I want to try a bite of something else, I can do it. And it's not cheating. And it's not me doing something wrong. It's a sign that my body is becoming more and more resilient. When I say this, sometimes people will comment like, wow, you're going back to your past patterns, you're going to get sick again. And absolutely not. I always will prioritize nourishing animal-based foods. I've become very passionate about that, and I think it is so important. But there's also so much more to health than just what we're eating. And I think sometimes in the carnivore and the animal-based space, we get so hyper-focused on food that we forget some of these really, really important factors to our health that matter. And for me, food was very, very important for my healing, but also working on regulating my nervous system and getting out of survival mode was just as important for healing. And that was also what allowed me to get to a point where I can have other foods and I feel good when I have other foods still. I think if you're doing a carnivore diet and you have a bite of a strawberry and all of a sudden you have joint pain, that is a sign that your body isn't truly healed. Because our bodies are designed to be resilient and we don't need perfection. And there's so many other aspects to our health, like our light environment and our circadian rhythm, our stress levels, our nervous system state. And if we only focus on food, then often that's not enough to fully heal. I'm editing this video and I just want to make it clear that I am not encouraging people to stop following their way of eating or to eat a bunch of things that don't make them feel good. But I am encouraging you to maybe think about diet and guidelines differently and just look at them in a way where it's just, I'm eating to feel my best. And that will look different for different people and also will look different at different points in your healing journey. And so if right now you're in a place where being really strict is what you feel you need, then absolutely do that. And just remember your why and be grateful for those nourishing foods that you're eating and the healing that it's bringing your body. But if you're further down in your healing journey and you've gained more of this resiliency and your body can handle having a bite of something that you don't usually eat and you feel that you're actually in control, then do what's best for you. And I think when it comes to the holidays, you just have to, first thing, remember your why. If you're choosing not to eat the typical holiday desserts, but also if you do choose to have some of those things, be gentle with yourself, be kind with yourself, and realize like, hey, there's always a new day tomorrow to start again. That's why I don't call it cheating when I have something that goes outside of my normal eating, because really what I am trying to do with how I'm eating is to live my healthiest life. Something that I've also found as I've gotten further along in my healing journey is it is absolutely not hard for me to say no. Whether I'm at a family event or a church event or something like that, I've come to the point where if there's a pie or brownies or cookies or whatever it is, it's not even like a thought that crosses my mind to even want those things. If I ever do choose to have a bite of something like that, it's my choice. It's not me losing control. And I think that's really empowering when we get to a point where we realize that we are in control and we can find ways to overcome food addiction and to overcome things like binging. And so, yeah, I guess I just wanted to share that because this is something that I have gotten a lot of questions about. I really do think it's important how we talk to ourselves. And like I said, you know, when I was in Italy and had some gelato, like when in Rome, literally, it was fun. But I also was like, oh, this is really cool that this doesn't actually taste that good to me anymore. 10 or 11 years ago, I went to Italy in college, and at that time I was eating all the gluten-free pizza and pasta, and I think I was having like 3 or 4 gelatos a day on my trip to Italy, and I just absolutely loved the gelato. And so it was cool to see that my palate has changed and that I prefer to be eating the beef and the eggs and these nutrient dense foods, but also it's okay for me to have a bite of that. Like, it's not going to negatively impact me. But honestly, if I were to have gone to Italy 2 years ago when I was still really in the thick of my physical healing journey, I just would have turned it down. I just would have chosen not to have any of that. And like, for example, last year when I was in Norway, I didn't have any of the ice cream or chocolates or treats. And that wasn't a hard thing for me either. I just feel grateful that I've come to a point in my journey where I am flexible and I'm adaptable and I'm resilient and my body can handle a little bit of something that maybe isn't the best for me. But I typically don't choose that because it's not what I want and it's not what my body craves now. So anyways, I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, wonderful Christmas, And if you do happen to fall off the wagon with your way of eating, don't beat yourself up about it. There's always another day to try again, and our bodies don't need perfection, and that's what healing is about, building resiliency. So that's the video for today. Let me know in the comments if there are any specific topics you'd like me to share about, and I will look forward to seeing you in another video very soon.